Hey guys, and welcome to Thankmas stream. So we're starting our Thankmas stream today. Ain't that a wee bit of fun? Our goal is just a simple $100, you know. Something simple to get us, started. But to start off, I have some few things I need you to read to you. So we'll start off first with, so you can donate if you just click the little link either in the description or on the pinned comment I have on the side. So if you donate $1, you get a building block. You get a little block for the house. $5 is a doorknob. $20 provides an entire shower, which cool. $50 is a toilet. $75 is a window, which just to see, everybody wants a window. $100 is a front door. $250 provides a wall to an entire wall for a house. $800 supplies $800 supplies clean water. $1,500 provides a roof over the family house. $2,000 provides the foundation for the house. $10,000 provides an entire home for a family. And $1 million builds the entire community of, in this case, 100 homes, which is a decent sized community. All of this, if you only have $1 you can donate, it's still providing something, which is really, really cool. So as you can see, we've also got a really nice front page for the thing, and if we activate the polls now, you should now see a poll on the left and a poll on the right. Every hour I'm going to be checking the poll on the left, which you can either choose to keep what we're doing or to change to one of the other options I have. And on the other side we have a poll which is debating whether the South Pole or North Pole is better. Currently, North Pole is winning with $10 because the North Pole is better, in my opinion. And so, across the top of the stream, you can also see these dots up here, which are milestones. The first one which we've reached, which is just getting started. The next milestone we have to get to is 25% of the way there to our big goal. It's $25. At $50, we're 50% of the way there. 75% of the way there, it's $75. And then $100. They do have some more exciting names, but so yeah. So what we're doing this year is helping News Story. We're trying to reach $10 million, which is to build 1,000 homes across all the streams. We got Jacksepticeye's stream and other people who are also streaming. This is led by Jacksepticeye through Thankmas, allowing everybody, including me, to join in, because they now have the ability to 3D print houses, which is just cool, in my opinion. So, in the bottom left, you can see that we've built 45,000 homes, which means we've hit 450,000, because it's 10,000 a home. So we're doing really well. That's the group total. Along the bottom, you can see our total, which is $10. And on my page, I can see all this information. So I've got how much we've raised, the next milestone, which is just 25% in this case, the Thankmas total, which is right now $450,000 and $500. And I can see all your donations. If you're talking in chat, I can also see chat right now. So go on, come and say hi. If you're watching this now, share it with everyone. Share it with anyone you can. Just go down, click share. Jacksepticeye on his Twitter, if you have Twitter, has put a post up which you can share. Just put in hashtag Thankmas. So what we're going to be doing is in this in this stream is we're going to be playing some Space Engineers and a few other things, depending on how the votes go. So of course, the first thing we're going to be doing is going through. So I've started filming a guide to playing survival Space Engineers tonight, recently, and so what you guys are going to get to see is the behind the scenes of that. We're going to film a shorter episode than normal, not that any of them are out, where we're going to be doing where we're going to be filming episode 3, which goes into some detail. We're not going to be using the normal map that we're using, because we have our own map for the Space Engineers. But the first thing we're going to be doing is going to options, clicking gameplay, and turning on experimental mode. Gives you this little pop-up, but this allows you to play with mods, other things, and it'll come up with a little experimental mode in the top right corner, which if you press Shift and F1 explains that it's going. If we load the game, because I've already loaded up the world, and we load up live stream, we can click Edit Settings, and this brings you to a page like if you'd click Create. Now this is live stream, and we selected Creative Mode. If we go to Advanced, you get all the things, all the different settings you can use for the map. What we're going to enable for this, Spectator's always enabled on Creative Mode, but we'll enable it just to get a case. We're going to enable in-game scripts, because that's going to be part of what we're going to be doing. And I believe that's all we're going to enable. So if we click OK, click OK again. We're not going to be using any mods to this, but we might come back to it later. So if we click Load, this should load up this world. Loading. This might take a minute to load. Oh wow, we're at 53 houses built already. That means in the time that it's taken me just to do that short wee bit, we have built over 500, we've gone up another 100,000, which is insane to think. So, you know. So here what we have is the example houses. So this year, just to be, if you donate, you will get your own version of these houses. I shall build one of these houses, and I didn't build that corner correctly. We shall fix this corner. There we go. So now that we've got the corner fixed, so this is our little, so if you donate $1 or more, I will build you your 1-block house. This is a 10-block house for $10 or more. $20 gets you a 2-story version of this house. And $100 or more gets you a large mansion that we'll build the insides of later. $1,000 or more, which would be insane if anybody was to donate that, we'll build you, instead of getting a house, on the community tab, what we're going to do is you get your name, all the houses will be connected by a road, and you'll get your name in front of the house, on the very front entrance to the entire set of houses. Yeah, that is our plan. So let's get to what we're actually going to be doing. So that is our live stream stuff. But over here for the episode that we're going to be doing, as the thumbnail says, building a drone army. So if we fly over here, just so you guys understand, for speed, there's spectator mode. Spectator mode can be activated with F8. You can change the speed of spectator mode by moving the mouse wheel. Shift allows you to go faster. If I scroll up, speeds up. Scroll down, it slows us way down. Scroll the mouse wheel forward with shift. And we move forward. And then we press F6, return the character. F7 allows you to have spectator mode from a certain angle while the character still moves. And that's about it. But if we go over here and we set up a little platform, and we build out this platform and build it up. Let's go 4 places, and then 3 in this direction, 3 in this direction, 3 in this direction, and 3 in this direction, as well as going for a connector. The one advantage of creative mode is that you don't have to go and collect the resources, and you already have everything unlocked. So if we place down all the connectors, whoops, I'll clean that up in a sec. We place down all the connectors. We've now got a little landing pad. Now if I press F10 to open our grids and search up drone, and go with drone Mark 1. This is a small little atmospheric drone I built. Doesn't have a lot. But the one issue with building drones is that on the atmosphere, theoretically, you don't need downwards atmospheric thrusters, because the ship itself just needs gravity. You just turn off the downwards thrusters and it should go down. But the issue is remote controls have an issue with that. So what we're going to do is remove the one down thruster, one of the up thrusters, and replace it with a singular down thruster, just so that it's able to move properly. If we go down and look underneath, you can also see all the other thrusters we have to make sure it moves in the correct directions. And what we're going to add to this is we're going to add a connector to the bottom, just below the remote control. Should be just below anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to stand in the middle here, and I'm going to explain how you use remote control drone. So if you press I to open your inventory and press remote access, this opens up all the different ships you can access remotely. But to access a ship remotely, what you need is an antenna. So if we go search and go antenna and drag that down, and just because of what we're going to be doing in the future, we're going to also grab some timer blocks. So first what we're going to do is add an antenna to the back, plus add 2 timer blocks to the side. Now if we go stand over here, press K and click remote access, you can now see the drone. Currently we cannot connect because my antenna is off, and you press O to turn on and off your antenna. So we click remote access now, we can now control the ship. So if I press forward as if I'm moving, it now moves the ship instead. Up, down. So what we're going to do is we're going to land this ship, and it's going to land this way. If the I forgot to, there we go. But what I have realized is I forgot to power. So now that's connected there. Just to make this connection thing easier, what we're going to do is put a reactor down here. We are going to have to turn off the magnetic strength for the ship. There we go. By turning those off, it will allow the ships to fly. So what we're going to do is, while standing here, we're going to reconnect to the remote access. Then we're going to open the GPS controls. And as explained probably in the previous episode, we're going to click new from current position. And we're going to call this landing, that's spelling landing wrong, landing 1. Now if we fly this up, you can see that landing 1 is in the correct position. Now if we fly this up a few, we're going to call this first we're going to click new from current position, and then we're going to rename this start / stop number 1. Now what we're going to use this drone, we're going to access out of the drone control and fly over to here so we can see. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into patrol drone. So if we go back and click control again, and we fly the drone forward, we'll keep flying it until it gets to about, that's probably far enough. Press K, GPS, new from current position, and this is point number 1. Now if we exit so we can kind of see what we're doing, press K, go back to the controlling the drone. You can see, and then we turn it. And then we fly it this direction. This is just an example, so we'll stop that far. If we go GPS, and we keep going through this, so it's point number 2. Then if we fly all the way out here, just till it goes just off screen, then go GPS, and then we call this point number 3. Then if we press and turn over there and go to face, press K and go and re-control so we can, oh, it's gone out of our control range. There's only so far you can connect to a ship with, so if we travel out like this, getting to within 100, there we go. So we go K, we should be able to remote access it from here. Turn it to face that way, and travel till it gets, oh, it left my range again, so that's pretty good actually. If we go control, by having control over the thing, it takes the control point from where you are, not from where the ship is, not where you are. That's, we've already done 3, so 4. And that should be enough. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to set the ship up. We're going to set the remote control and the timers up to follow this path. So if we go to remote access and terminal this time, because we don't want to actually control the remote control, we just want to access the stuff inside it, and we click, there's no camera on it, but that should be fine, patrol direction forward. If we click add all the places that we want it to go, oh whoops, we've got to add that one in twice, so that's where it starts and stops. Move up. That will now travel around, and if I turn on precision mode just to make sure that it lands properly, this should travel first to start, stop, without me having to control it. See, I can control my character now. It will then line up with the remote control block. It will then turn and travel towards each of the points, and then it will turn Now, to make sure the ship works, all you need is a thruster in each direction, the power to control the ship, and at least one gyroscope so it can turn. That's all you need. Now, it should travel to point 3, which I accidentally labeled as myself because it disconnected from me. So it's going to travel over here, but that's fine. And then it's going to travel up and over to point 4 before returning to start-stop. And then it should land. So it travels to point 4. Just on the connection issue between the character and the person, if you have a antenna on a ship, you can connect to them from further away. So we should then, we're up here, then we should come down to land, and hopefully that connected properly. I don't know if it did. Just a quick tip, we're going to click Control and Z, which will then turn on auto dampeners, which will travel. Now it is in patrol mode, so it will then go back the other way. We don't want that. So if we go to terminal, go to remote control and put on circle, turn off and on the autopilot, so then restart and go in the correct direction. But we wanted to do something. When we get to landing, we wanted to set up a set of actions. First, what we wanted to do is take timer block 1 and start the countdown. Take timer block 2, also start the countdown, take the remote control, and turn autopilot off. Yep, no, it changed it as I took too long. So we go set up actions. Nope. We want timer block 1, start. Timer block 2, start. There we go. Now what we need to do is set up the timer blocks. So timer block 1, what we're going to do is it's going to lock the connector. And that's it. It's just going to lock the connector. Now timer block 2, if we click control and click, allows us to set exactly the number rather than do the slider bar, and click 60. That gives us a minute. And if we set up actions, what we want to do after a minute is we want us to unlock the connector and turn on autopilot, sorry. I believe that's the correct thing. What did we do for this one? We need to turn off autopilot here. Oh wait, it's already off. Remove. If we go to the remote control again and click and as I was on set up actions, it's now connected properly. So after the 60 seconds, we'll just skip, so we'll trigger now. Now the actions are gone. So to stop that, we're going to go one way. Set up actions. First so what we're going to do is we're going to start the first timer block, start the second timer block, and then turn autopilot off, which will allow this one to turn on the autopilot and unlock. Now if this ship was connected other than just by a connector stuck to the bottom, we would be able to use this ship especially if you had turrets, as an automatic defense. And then it would land and refuel by recharging the reactors, in this case, on the ship, and refilling the turrets. Or, in this case, that we have the Gatling turrets. Now what I'm going to do is build a couple of these. So if I copy this one, turn off the fault dampeners by pressing Z, and then turning them back on just so that I don't fall. This should then come into a landing. But if I press this, press K and click remote access, we want to access this one and turn off autopilot on it, just so it doesn't land. Now it's far enough away and it's just going to sit there. So just so we know which one it is, other than by which one's closer, we're going to go to info and change it to drone mark 1.2, which then in the remote access terminal changes the name. So if we go to terminal, go to remote control, and we click control. I'm not facing the right way. Go to remote control and press, and then retake control of the drone. We fly it, but instead of going to number 1, we're going to fly it to a different spot. So in this case, we're going to fly it to spot number 2. So what we're going to go is go to GPS, click new from current position, and we're going to call this landing number 2. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go up, click I, click GPS, and we're going to, I named that wrong. Then we're going to click new, and we're going to click start / stop number 2. Then what we're going to go is click control, remote access, then terminal. What we're going to do is we're going to go remote control. We're going to remove the start stops, and we're going to add number 2. We need to add 2 of these. So we're going to go up, 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 up 1, and then we're going to go terminal, remote control, and what we're going to do is set up the same actions as we've done before. So timer block 1, we're going to start the countdown timer. Timer number 2, we're going to start the countdown timer. And remote control's autopilot, we're going to turn off. As you can see, the drone's doing the other drone's doing its repeat thing. Now for some strange reason, maybe I have to leave it first. If we go leave it, then press terminal, then go to remote control, and we turn autopilot on. Now it should fly to point 1 while this one's sitting down to recharge, and you can see it's counting down the 60 seconds before it can send itself off again. Then it will travel to point 2 while this one's still waiting. Then this one should travel down to point 3 while this one's still recharging. Means you have one drone out, one drone refueling. Then the drone goes off. This drone takes off just in time. Travels to point 1. This one now is returning back. Should be. Well, that travels to point 2, which means you now have 2 drones out. Really what you're doing is protecting this end and then sending one all the way out there to just protect everything out that direction. Then this one, instead of coming to stop 1, should go to stop 2 over there. and then go down. The first timer should start, and the timer should then lock the thing in place. Now if it needed recharging, it would recharge, do whatever it needed, while the other timer counted down. The thing is, now that one's almost all the way back, which could be an issue because now we have nothing to protect us. So if we go back out here to give us time, we can spawn in another one. There we go. Of course, theoretically you could have them all go to the same recharge point, do all the resetting itself, but that would require an awful lot of precision. That is quite a lot to manage. Now I've just noticed that, so that one takes off. So what we're going to do is go to this one, click remote access, click terminal, and what we're going to do is the same thing we've done all the previous times. We're going to remove all of these. Then I'm going to click control. First I'm going to turn and face the correct direction. We'll come over here, and I'm going to click remote access and click control off. I forgot to rename it to make sure I knew which one it's which. So we go over here, it's the nearest one, info, point 3. So if we fly over to landing spot point number 3, click remote access and click control, drive the thing forward, we can see it using the antennas, bring it down, there it is, move it across, forward, left, there we go. So that works. So we then go and press, okay, open the GPS tab, click new from current position, then name it landing number 3. Then we do the same thing where we bring it up a bit. We go back to the GPS tab, click new. Now, this is mostly for the people on the stream right now, as this part's most likely not going to be included in the actual end video. So we've now got start stop 3, then if we go OK and click, which will open the tab of the ship you're in, and we go add 2 of these, and then add landing. Then if we move up this one, and then set up the actions, same as the last time. Start, and autopilot off. And that should be us good to go. So if we leave control, go remote access, terminal, remote control, turn on the autopilot. Hopefully they don't crash. Nope, they're far enough apart that they won't crash. Perfect. Now, we're going to do one more, because now we have one drone going out there, one drone over there, and one drone on its way to the first point. So what we can do is build another drone. We go to remote access, terminal, turn off autopilot. Oh, nope, that was it turning it off automatically. We bring us all the way over here because one of these is going to land on top of it, and that won't be good. So we're going to move it all the way out over here. We've turned off autopilot, so if we go to info and we call this 0.4. And then we do the same thing for all the rest, as we've done for all the rest. See, moved it just in time so that it doesn't crash. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. The one that's out and about is the one that we needed to hide it from, which is over there right now. So we go remote access number 4. Bring it past faster than the thing can get into place. Line it up with the thing, with the other connector. There we go. Then, as the same as the previous times, this is landing number 4. Then if we bring the thing straight up to this height, this is then, oh, that's not good. They might hit crash. Hopefully they don't. No from car. Oh, I didn't hear any crashing. This is good. There still needs to be a little bit of management between when they go, because this is very likely to going to be a crash in this case. Yeah. Fortunately, we have to time it a lot better with number 1. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem if we go to G, character tools, and bring out a welder. We can fix the drone right up. Could have built a new one, but that seemed like an awful lot of effort. When the other one comes to land, we can set it up. But anyway, remote access, drone 0.4, remote control, remove number 1 stuff, and add number 4. So add, and add, and add. Move this up. Move this one up too far. Whoops. There we go. Then if we go set up actions, timer block 1, start, timer block 2, start, remote control autopilot off. Then if we click autopilot on, press F to disconnect, will I come to this one that crashed into it? Ooh. It lost an entire turret. So if we go Gatling turret, to make it look big and scary, we can put it back, and voila, it was like it never happened. Huh, it was just the turret that hit it. Perfect. So we have one ship here, which is each of the drones moving through one at a time. This drone's taking off. They should be now pretty well spaced out so they don't crash. There is a chance that this one and that one might crash again, just because of how they go. So long, depending on how these timings work out. But nope, they'll be good because this one's up and leaving. These shouldn't crash. Nope, and they're not going to because of the difference in angles. Perfect. Now, as they come into Land. Okay, and there we go. It has landed. So now, back to YouTube, guys. Just before we do that, though, we've had a few donations. We got iBrew22, who says, here's some money for this amazing cause. And we also have a comment saying, hi all. We'll respond with hey into the chat. Hi, how are you guys doing? So, and we've raised $20 already. Let's go, and we're at 73 houses, which is 730,000. We're at 735,000 already, which is insane. Almost there to our 10 million. And 3, 2, 1, and that should lock, right? And now that means at all times we are actually fly. That means at all times we have at least one person flying, one ship flying out at almost all times, which is really good. Alright, so I've looked into this because I thought this was important, and I noticed something. There is literally only one video on this that I could find in the entirety of YouTube, and that is Rover Drones, which after testing I realized aren't exactly the most useful thing. But I thought, well, we may as well throw in Rover Drones. So if we go Rover, and we bring out the small rover that I'm going to be using, because I tested this one. So now I have built this rover sort of already, testing for the actual survival series, but we're going to slightly alter it. So we're going to remove the ore detector and remove the cockpit, and then what we're going to do is grab a gyroscope and the cockpit again. So first up, and a remote control, because we can't forget these are drones, so they needed remote controls. So now first what we're going to do is put the remote control in the center. You should always line it up in the middle, with the middle of the cockpit, and we're going to put the cockpit down like that. Looks a little weird, but I wasn't building a second rover for this. So then, add as many gyroscopes as possible. I'm going to be adding 8 around the back of this remote control, but it requires gyroscopes to move. Next up, we're going to enter the rover, and we're going to open the terminal by pressing K. The first thing we want to do is go down to the wheels, and we want to turn off steering. Then what we want to do is blast power all the way up to the top, and friction must be down to 20%. So control click to get it precisely 20%, but 20% or less. We're going to keep the speed the same, and what we're going to do is mess with the propulsion override. I think we might need to do something with the strength. We think we might need to boost that all the way up, but we'll see. Now what you want to do is take one side of the wheels, so the left or the right wheels, and click invert propulsion. Then take them all again, and first with the gyroscope, we're going to turn and face that direction, just to, because that will be an issue, because we'll just crash. And what we're going to do is, well, that's steer override, whoops, take propulsion override, and now we're driving forward. For some reason you have to invert one side, because otherwise it does this weird, otherwise it doesn't work properly. Don't quite know why. But we're now driving. Now what you're going to do is use the left arrow key to turn left, the right arrow key to turn right, and at certain points you're going to go GPS, new here, and then you're going to turn because you have to do this while you're still driving the thing, otherwise it doesn't, just to make sure that it will work. Then we're gonna go new GPS point here. We're gonna select 5. We're gonna go this direction here. This doesn't work quite so well up hills, but that's not surprising. It's a rover. It's not designed to go up cliff faces. The reason why I test driving out like this, it'll make sure that you can actually drive that path. So we go GPS. So we've now got 3. Then we turn slightly this direction. Four. You have to turn the reason why we turned the friction down was just to make sure the ship could make it. So there we go, we've got our 5 points. So we're gonna press P to park the ship. Then what we're gonna do is go down to remote control. What we don't want precision modes, doesn't really change anything, and collision avoidance is terrible because it's trying to avoid a collision with the ground that it's driving on. First, you want to turn this to circle, so it just keeps going round and round. I haven't quite figured out how to park these, but there are scripts you can get that will allow you to do so. So first what we want to do is add, and add. Now if we turn autopilot on, it will turn, but it doesn't turn using the wheels. It has no way to do so. It turns using the gyroscopes, which is why you need gyroscopes. The more, the easier it will turn. So what this is going to do is drive to point 1. Then it's going to drive to point 2, which is already actually in line with, which is helpful. You can see all the flying drones still doing their thing. Now it's going to turn until it faces point 3. And I can turn pretty sharply, which is actually really quite cool. And we're driving slowly but surely. And we've hit the next point. Ooh. That's why you drive it out, because sometimes you might be able to make the turn, but the remote control can't. At least it can. So otherwise we would have had a crash there. So it's now going to turn. Oh, facing point number 1. There we go. And voila. You now have the Rover. After testing this, I couldn't find an easy way to park these without using scripts. I heard an explosion, which isn't good. Maybe it was an explosion, but it might have been the thunder, just in case. Ah, that ain't good. The ship's crashed. Did it lose one? Yeah, it lost one of its thrusters. That's the importance of setting up correct timings, because it can really cause issues, which ain't good. And of course, once one causes issues, they'll all cause issues, because they'll be stuck trying to precisely park, but they're not able to. The rover should just keep going now. And theoretically you could use those as protection rovers that just drive around really quickly. I need you to face the other way. There we go. One down. The issue is, if I turned on collision avoidance to stop them from colliding, they wouldn't park. So there we go. Both of them back active, so they should be fine now, and the timing should be different. That's not good. Apparently I set these timings too close together. They have all their thrusters though, so that's not the end of the world. Where's the rover in its circuit? There it is. It's getting kind of dark where we are. But I just realized something. For the live stream, I set out you'd get a house if you donated $10. So, the first house, which currently just has my name in it, gets to go to, if we edit the text, it's to I Brew 22. This is now your house, and for the $10, and you also get to build an entire house. And you've helped build a house. $1 is a block, so $10 is 10 blocks. Well, or 2 doorknobs, because those are $5 each. So hey, congrats. At least all the engines are still intact on these broken ships. But yeah, so this is the short little drone episode. Now what we're going to do is go to space. And we're going to use the spectator cam because it's faster. We all the way to 45 kilometers, because that should be deep enough into space. We'll go to 50 just to be safe. Then Alt F10 opens the entity list, which allows you to click the teleport here button, and F6 because we're now up here. And you can see all the different asteroids, and we're up in space. Now the reason why we're up in space is to try something. Just realized that these are tiny blocks. Get rid of the tiny block, build a big block. So we're going to build a platform, small platform. And what we're going to put on the platform is, number 1, a small reactor. Number 2, what we're going to build on the platform is some ion engines. Sorry about that. So, we put down ion thrusters. You know, just a couple in each direction. Just to make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere after we start testing. And some down. Because this is the floating platform, so we wanted some thrusters, just to give us some control over what it's doing. So now what we're going to do is grab a programmable block and a piston. So we place the piston there and hit 6 and put the programmable block there. Now what you can use for programmable blocks is there is a script maker that you can use, which if we change to the desktop screen, you can see. So this is malware devs GitHub space engineers code, which you can use in combination with Visual Studio 2019, which is no longer available for you to download, unfortunately, but once this gets updated to 2022, you can use this version to help with the ease of coding in this. But as we cannot use that version anymore, what we're going to do is just try our best. So we've got a piston here which is just called piston. Now if I can remember this piece of code correctly, if we go here and click edit, you have all this. So really all we need in this case is the main section. And we don't really need any of this either. So what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to attempt to move said piston. So first what we need to do is call, I can't remember the code for this to be honest. So we're going to come back to this another time after I've researched the code, because trying to remember this off the top of my head, that's a bit difficult. So we'll delete this object, yes. It's coming up to time to try and possibly change event anyway. So if we press Z and then turn off dampeners, we can accelerate at full place back down to the earth. While I check what we're doing next. Other than the North Pole, who is clearly winning, it should pop up again in about an hour. The North Pole poll is supposed to pop up every hour. Wow, okay, somebody really built that home really quite quickly, because we're up to £800,000. I mean, isn't that insane? And you guys have helped, which is really cool. Now, it's been an hour in, so we have some things we need to talk about. So yeah, no, I think we covered most of it. So, but it's a very impressive thing that Thankmas is doing. If you want to donate, share with everybody you can. Talking to my viewers, come on guys, you can share with anybody and everyone you know. So this is the really cool thing about this, is that it's just spreading the cheer. Even if you can't donate, you can share it with people. So, you know, share with your friends, your family, I don't know, your cat named John. If you know somebody who owns a cat, you can share it with them too. Maybe they have a cat named John. So our plan next is probably to do some work on an episode on the episode 2. You just see me film episode 3. Now we get to do the behind the scenes of episode 2, where we'll ask questions or look at chat significantly more than what I've been doing so far. And we've got a new person. Hello, welcome. So use the donation link to donate, because that's what we're here for. You can interact with stuff. A few cool things we're doing with donations is we're doing a little, if you look through the donations, there's little rewards. You got imaginary points, which you can use to buy imaginary items. You've also got different things which are more to do with, as well as me building you a house in the game here, I'm writing a little story, which you again get to use, which you can donate to, which donating will allow you to watch with. The way I said that made no sense. Basically, I'm building a little story, and if you donate, you get to put your own opinions and ideas down. And it can be anything you want. Make sure you keep drinking, guys, you know? It's always very important. See it on all the different streamers. Ooh, remind me to keep drinking. Yeah, here you can do the little drinking thing. It's important. So, our plan next is to go click. Well, first we're going to save. And what we're going to do is go and continue doing. We've just done episode 3, so we're now going to do episode 2 because we're a little bit ahead of ourselves. Anytime somebody donates, though, we'll go back to the live stream world and we'll do a bit of live streaming on there. At some point in the next few minutes, the polls should pop up. Maybe they already have. There's a good chance I missed them. The polls are designed to pop up every hour or so. And we're a bit past the hour now, so good chance I missed them. But I know how to fix that. If we go over to the Tiltify page and we update the speed that they pop up at. So that's 36. Oh, there we go. There's one of the polls. The other poll, since iBrew voted on it, will have popped up when he voted and will have disappeared again. So, so we're going to decrease the speed of these because they're a little slow. So we're going to drop it down to every 15 minutes. And we'll give them a little bit more screen time. "15 minutes, a little more screen time." So they've been saved. And then if we refresh the overlay to pop up. Ta-da, there we go. And North Pole is clearly winning by $20. Which is very good because it's Christmas. The North Pole should be winning. So if we go across, our point is right now, and we're midway through the episode, so currently we're mining to try and get some more resources to play on the... I'm thinking while trying to do stuff, which is why it's so broken apart. There we go. We should be... I went the wrong way. That's why it took so long to find the end, because we just went right back around in a circle. So if we carry down the mine shaft, and voila, almost. Around this corner, ta-da, there we go. So we're in the middle of the episode of number 2, where we're should be showing you the first time how GPS signals work, and we should be building a rover ourselves. The little rover we used just previously in the stream. Right now, though, we are going to be... Right now, we're still in the construction of the power grid. We're mining to collect the resources. Most of this, you won't... Usually, when I'm doing this, we'll just cut it out. Most of the time, actually, it won't even be recorded. In this time, it is. So, you know, you guys get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes. Well, behind the scenes. It's more like the parts of the episodes that aren't included. But you guys then get to spend time and watch. So this is where we are in the episode. So you see, we're after the point where we've built the power grid, but we're still getting the resources to build the batteries. And we haven't dismantled this yet. Just so that anybody's watching and who sees that episode is curious. Though, to be fair, I am talking about a series that first episode is still in the middle of its editing. And the second episode is currently being filmed. Well, this is currently being worked on to continue being filmed. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Because in reality, this is really what we're going to be doing for the next few hours anyway.
Inventory full.
Very clearly, my inventory's full. Thank you, very loud voice. Maybe that voice is just in my head. In this case, it's in the headset for the character. I just realized I turned experimental mode on to show you in episode 3 how to use scripts. Then couldn't remember the code that I needed to show to do scripts. Really what I need to do is practice using scripts a bit more so I can remember it. But, you know, thinking about starting a podcast. Kind of have the idea for it. Actually, I have a couple of ideas. But there we go. We'll come back to that. Another idea. Another day. Actually, we can talk about it now, actually. So the podcast idea, I have a couple. One is kind of explaining my journey through YouTube. Because you have all these people talking about, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. But what happens... But most of them have already large channels, and then they give it... well, they might start example channels to try things. They already have a pretty good foothold and understanding what they need to do. What I'm going to do is, basically, one of the ideas is to do a weekly podcast on the ideas of was to do the weekly podcast on, or maybe even monthly, would probably be more accurate, of everything I did through the last month to do with YouTube, and anything I've tried new, what I attempted, how the YouTube's going. Or, on the other hand, my other idea, which I might do as well, like I could do that once a month, and then do this for the other 3 episodes a week, is do a podcast on, because I have a podcast of when I'm driving around, so
Inventory full.
I delivery drive, so if I did like a delivery driver's podcast, which is me talking in the car, just with what I'm thinking of while delivering, and then just editing that into a podcast. And as I do that more than once a week, that could be the every week podcast, and then we could mix in the YouTube stuff once a month. And if that either one of those parts takes off, we could do it a few more times than once. We could slowly take it off as it went on. So the issue with the podcast though is like that. I just spent the last few seconds just moving that stuff over, and I wasn't really talking, which from an entertainment standpoint it's not very good. You know, fun to bounce ideas off people, you know. Get people to join in. You know. But sometimes my issue is that I think about the stuff way too much and then I just don't get involved. So really just, you know, get it going. Get it started. And then see how it goes. Not every idea is a good idea, but my issue is I come up with maybe good ideas and then just never try them. So, you know. Really excited to be doing this for Thankmas though, you know. Thought, should just do it. Just get on and do it, and I did. So, you know. Not quite as prepared as I would like to be, but... Can you believe we've been doing this for over an hour already? Which is actually really quite cool. Of course, Jack's been doing this for 2 hours and is only on his first segment, so you know. Well, I'm already on segment 2, and half as much time. But hey. Different people, different channels, different ways of doing things. Suppose if I was the size of Jack's channel, if my channel was the size of Jack's channel, and I stood around writing down the names of every person and sticking to the board, I would also be standing around for several hours. You know, I wasn't doing that. Ooh, the energy's low, which means we're going to have to refuel the suits soon, which is an episode 1 issue that we talk about. But for those who are watching now and haven't seen episode 1 as it's not released yet, I'll explain it for you as well, as this part's not actually going to make it to the main episode. It'll just be in the live stream recap. And depending on when episode 2 released, the link to donate might still be there. Though maybe not. Oh, I said I would refuel. So what we're going to do is go up to the survival kit and press F on it, and it's going to regenerate all our energy. You can hear the refinery going as well as the assembler. Don't know how much more it has to do, but we can check, because this mining thing is going to take a while. Press K, production. Oh, no, that's the survival kit. I was about to say we're done. We have all of that left to build. Those are battery or power cells to be put into the battery, and we need all of those made to make the battery. The rest of the components were weren't as important, as we had some of them already, but the battery cells are the most important part. But they require an awful lot of resources, which is why we have done so much mining. And now I need to mine down because, well, there's all the dirt. So we're using so much energy in this one because we have our lights on so we can see because it's dark. So I can understand why streamers, especially starting streamers, find it difficult, because I'm trying to figure out the things just to talk about, which can become an issue. So, well, you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about what I've been watching recently. Recently, I've been watching a few different shows, but what I'm thinking about right now is Young Justice, superhero TV show that I highly advise people watch. Been watching the new season, and I've been enjoying it. It's not their absolute best season so far, but I do enjoy the way they're doing it. They're doing the episodes this season kind of the same way the Clone Wars did it after season 1, which was 4 episode short little, well, I suppose it's hour and 20 minute like short movies, essentially. 20-minute episodes plus, which basically leads to an hour and 20 minutes worth of like one episode like short movies that you get, like the strict TV movies, which are like an hour and 20 minutes. Actually, it's kind of like the DC movies that they normally do for cartoons anyway, because they're about an hour and 20 minutes each. So that's essentially what they're doing. Like, it's split across the 4 episodes, and some of the story they're going into is actually quite interesting, especially the newer one. Been enjoying it. So it's been an interesting season this season. Not sure how they're going to end this season. I have a few ideas, but we're only on, well, actually I say only, we're on episode 10, which means, wow, it's been 10 weeks of this, isn't it? That's insane to think about. Started almost 2.5 months ago when that first episode, well, first 2 episodes come out, so just almost 2.5 months ago. Which is insane. Big fan of superheroes, Star Wars. You know. We've also got the, oh, we've broken into the tunnel again. It's gonna happen a few times. The way the drill's shaped, you keep turning to the left a little because of how the drill works. Which then leads to you breaking the same ground over and over again. But we'll see where that comes out, because that will be interesting. Because we've already looped through once already. But hey, who doesn't? Space Engineers, kind of it's a surprisingly old but new game, because it was released 2013 and YouTube says it's like a 2013 game. But in reality, well, it was released on Steam in 2013. In reality, that was like the early access release, because the actual like full release came out, what was it, 2019 February? I think it was 2019, February 2019. Well, or maybe 2018. No, it was February 2019 or 18. I can't remember which one. But you know, it's still a reasonably old game, because that's what, 3 years ago now. Where does this lead? Which is the correct way to go? Have I dug into the? I have dug into the second tunnel. So I still have to come up here. It just then goes from this way. We've just looped around again to here, and we need to dig down more because we're hitting the surface again. So that's insane. We've done a double loop-de-loop, which is really quite cool, actually. And our
Inventory full.
our polls are back up, with still nobody voting on a change of game, so it's still up to me. Wow. So I'd never have let that happen. Just kidding. And we're still doing the vote, so we've got my vote plus iBrew's vote combining to make a very strong, the North Pole's clearly better. one thing I'll bring up again is that, so Ibrew donated, and he got, and his message allows him to say, we're in 10th, he put in $10, so that allowed him to say, I want to name a village for the little show that I'm writing right now. It's going to use space engineers as like our thing, and he got to name it, and he was very clever and named it Thankmasville, which I thought was clever, kind of funny. So Ibrew got to name that. Of course, he's my moderator, who said he was unable to do the full stream, so is leaving in what, an hour and 40 minutes, so hey. But hey, need a few moderators. Ooh, an unknown signal. That we also are going to do in this episode. Just after the power stuff, which is what we're doing now. There we go, now it's obvious where we're going. For some strange reason on Jacksepticeye's stream, we're zoomed in very far into his face. I have his stream open on my phone, not listening to it, just kind of watching it to see what he's doing. Just because, like, you know, he's the guy running this thing, and, you know, felt like, you know, more viewers, more eyes on this, which is the point of really what I'm doing. Just to try and get more people to hear about it, and share about it. Come on, pick it up, pick it up. Oh, our inventory's full again. So now we get to run all the way back. Down the hole. And run all the way back. Yes, I make my own sound effects even though there's in-game sound effects. And up the hill. No sound effect for up the hill. And whoosh, up and out. All the way to the container and dump. There you go, you can hear the refinery going. And you can hear the assembler going. Actually, let's check how far we're going rather than... Ooh, we've got enough for one battery. Yeah, let's... Do we still have it saved? Yep, we still have it saved in the build planner, so... Middle mouse button to remove from the build planner and... Fill it up. Technically it says we don't have all of them, but that's because they take up an awful lot of room. We now have more of the power cells. Full inventory again. And one more time. Ta-da! We've got one battery fully made. And if we press G, you can see that one of the batteries has been removed from the build planner. Just for you guys, because we'll include this. Actually, yeah, we might include this actually. But you can see it's going to be fully recharged in 2 hours because of all the power. But this allows us, also allows it to recharge when there's enough power going in that it doesn't need to. And then if it needs to output power, then it can. This will allow for when the... Actually, the solar panels aren't even working right now. It's just that the sun's, I assume, is coming up. Maybe it's going down. Actually, coming up because it's been night so far. So once it comes up over the hill... I think it's coming up over the hill. Yeah, because you can see the sun there. So it's coming up from that angle. These solar panels will activate. And we don't actually need the solar panels, but just in case... It's mainly for when the rover gets here. Because that takes quite a lot of resources. to recharge the rover, we have these batteries that we can use. So we have one battery down, one to go. Back to the mines, like the, you know, we need like a dwarf costume or something, you know, dwarf emote for mining. Hopefully we can also build a mining ship. That's the two things we're going to be building. One is a rover to locate the mining ores because they're more efficient from a power standpoint, and then one for a mining ship. Once both are built, if they both get built in this episode, we will be doing a talk through on how to use the, I don't know why I'm mining more, I'm out of space, but we will be doing a emote on explaining how to build the ships. Because, well, mining, like flying mining ship is, just from a size standpoint, just from like a power standpoint and stuff, is actually a lot better. Just for ease, because trying to get a rover in and out of a hole and digging a hole with a rover is just a little too complicated. Like, there are people skilled enough to do it, and there are like mods which give you like mining tools that can mine in a very specific way, like the nanite drill and drill and fill, I think it is, or whatever mod, which I enjoy using. But this is a no mod, no advanced tools, well, experimental modes on now, but wasn't when we created it, so it's just basic settings world. Reason why we need the rover to go scouting though is because not all the because while we're collecting resources from mining, some of the components we built so far required metal grids, but metal grids require cobalt. But cobalt is not made from deconstructing stone, but you can find ore patches which produce a lot more ore to which produce a lot more ore to the amount you put in, because they're just the pure ore for the item. I'm gonna need to do a good wee bit more mining. Ooh, on Jacksepticeye's screen, I just saw a cool transition, and we're now doing lot. We're now, and he's now talking to somebody. I'm not quite sure, but you know. Oh, he's got a beard. That's cool. Anyway, we are absolutely blasting through these homes. We're at 99 homes. I forgot I needed to turn right there. That's on me. I just walked around in a circle there. So that's 99 homes built already. We're at 990,000. We're almost at the million mark. 600,000 of that's from Jacksepticeye's stream, and $20 of that is, and 20 of that's from ours. So hey, good job, guys. Smaller audience. I think it's pretty proportional. Up and out. Donate. There you go. If we had the mining ship already, we'd be going a lot faster, but we don't actually have the resources to make the mining ship yet. That's what the rover's going to be for, to go and locate some ores. Then we can use that to locate more ore to make the thrusters, which we need metal grids for. Because to use the metal grids we need so far, we've taken from the previous thrusters. Ooh, Jack seems to be going to the different streamers now, because there's a guy who's doing stream now. So, you know, wouldn't it be really entertaining if it came to our stream? Probably not. That would be really quite cool. But there's so many people streaming right now. Oh, the guys stopped because Jack's donated. Really what I'm doing is playing a game for Thankmas while watching Jacksepticeye's Thankmas stream. Not listening to it, but listening to you guys. It's really nice that, you know, because Jack being able to send his stream down to sending his viewers to other people to go watch their streams instead, mainly because of how long he does it. Most of those people will finish by the time he gets to the end of his as well. And more importantly, it allows other people to, you know, because then those people, they're probably already donated to Jack's channel, and then they go, we'll go and donate over here as well. I think Jacksepticeye just donated 100,000 to the guy, which is absolutely insane. Wow, we're at 110 homes built. 1,100,000. Ain't that just absolutely incredible? You know, you guys are listening, you can come and donate. Or even just go to the Tiltify link on, well, I don't have the basic link, but Jacksepticeye's does. So, yeah. Really quite cool.
Inventory full.
Wow, that was surprisingly realistic sounds. We just donated that was one loud thunderstorm. Hey, so if anybody new's listening, can't really see right now who's on, but should go down and donate. Links in the description, or as well, or in the pinned message on the live stream chat. Not watching it live, Actually, I believe you can still see the pinned message, but go check the description. There'll probably also be a pinned comment. Oh look, there we go. Here's the polls back up. Another 15 minutes. So what are we up? We're still in the same place we were last time, obviously. No. Ooh, there comes the rain. Really like the game sounds in this. It actually sounds really quite realistic. You got the pleasant rain sounds. You see, there we go. The sun's now hitting the solar panels. So what? We've got 1 power there, 2 power there, 1 power there, 1 power there. Probably because of the rain. Though I suppose in this game the sun shines through the rain anyway. How are we doing from the production standpoint though? Because I can see a few there. Almost done. We're about halfway through. It's actually really good. We're insane way through. It's insane how much we've raised. Well, how much everybody's raised collectively, you know? 1 million already. I guess it's been going for almost a week, but still. When I was looking at it this morning, we were at 100,000. We've gone through another 1 million worth of content already. And it doesn't feel like it, but I've already streamed for just over almost 2 hours now. Been over 2 hours since we started, but yeah, no, it's been over 2 hours. Actually, not quite. It's been 2 hours and about half an hour. An hour and a half, actually, which is insane to think about. Anyway, doesn't feel like it. That's probably how those people do like these 12-hour long streams. You know, you're a few hours in. Some of them are like in groups, so they like take turns, which is clever. But like there's people like, because Jack would do like 12-hour long streams. Last year for Thankmas he did 9 hours. You know, people who will do really long streams. I've always wondered how they keep their energy up for that long. But then here's me, though I suppose not doing as much as they would, so, you know, still impressive. Because it takes a lot of energy to do all that. So, drilled a bit more than I needed to there, but hey. Really, this is what this is going to be. It's kind of repetitive, but hey. It's how the stream goes. You know, you see it from a lot of YouTubers where the episodes go quick, fast. Oh, we need to do mining. Bang, cut to whatever either major event happened during the mining or them no longer mining anymore. In this case, it's cut to me, but then you'll see the live streams where they spend the entire time live streaming. Like, well, they'll live stream all of it. Personally, I've always found those live streams interesting. They'll chat with chat, you know, talk to people, get involved. It's always been really cool. Yeah, kind of running out of things to talk about while we're doing this. Really unlike me though. Ooh, look, we're almost through. Just 8 more. We don't quite have the resources for it. Maybe we do. See, do we or don't we? Don't have time to set up a poll though. So say in chat, oh. Oh, I think we do. I think we did it. Of course, still way too much, not enough room. We're halfway with the power cells. Just another 15 to go. And voila! We did it, we got all the resources we needed. This is why these episodes take forever to make though. Because... Oh, no. That pop-up. Go away, hard drive. Not that you can see it apparently, but it just popped up on my screen. So, yeah. This is why it takes so long, because this is what it took to build. I had already done most of this already, and this is where we're at now, so we're, well, 3 hours. 3 hours actually is not bad. It's 3 hours in real life, unfortunately not the in-game time, because that would be really quick. But how are we going from a power standpoint? Sun's coming up. Of course the wind turbines cast a shadow and everything, but I don't know, I don't actually believe that affects it in this game though. Or at least, if it does affect it, not as much as, not enough. Well, I say like I want it to affect more. I don't, but, you know, not as much as it should do. But hey, we've done another home already. But if we go over here, we've got survival kit. Cool. What was I going to do? Oh yes, we have to do the episode now. So we'll do another episode with the Thankmas stuff over the top of it. Ain't that cool? Not the episodes won't be entirely Thankmas, but hey. So, okay, we ready for the Thankmas? Any messages and stuff I won't need to be able to read for the next few minutes. Well, I'll be able to read them. I just won't be responding to them for the next few minutes while I film this part of the episode. Okay, so, guys, we've now finished mining. Ooh, sun's come out. Stop raining. Batteries. Yes, we finished mining and we've now built both batteries. Batteries work with, there's 3 types of modes. There's auto mode, recharge mode, and discharge mode. Auto mode means that if there's enough power, it will recharge. Currently it's got 3 hours. And if it needs more power, it will, if the station that it's connected to needs more power, it will then release the power. Recharge means that no matter what, it will always try to recharge. And discharge is the opposite. It will, no matter what, it will always try to discharge the power. Now, discharge and recharge I would have on at times when, like, if I had a ship and I needed to park it, like recharge mode only when the ship's parked to recharge. And talking about ships, that's what we really need to move on to next. As you can see, we're still during the Thankmas stream. Ironically, this is filmed after episode 3. I really don't know what that is. It's kind of terrifying, the sound. But I think it might be something to do with like cave sounds or something, because of the big cave hole that we got down here. Stay time so we can turn on the lights. The first thing though, what we're going to do is finally grind this down, as we're still in the Thankmas era, so we're going to be grinding this down while we do. And you guys in the episode will get to watch this quick time lapse of us grinding it down. Though, depending on when this episode's come out, if you can, the links, if it's soon enough, the link should be still in the description, and to go donate. And if it's not soon enough, episode 1 will be definitely soon enough, so go and donate then, for all those who are watching this afterwards on YouTube. So while I grind this down, chat, welcome back. for all those at home, they've got this live stream with hopefully entertaining, funky music in the background. There will be music, it's just hopefully you guys enjoy the music. But while we grind this down slowly, collecting all the resources, which we'll then use to build the rover. The piping's come loose because everything it's connected to is gone. And this came loose because the way I grinded it down. Grind. There we go. There we go. Okay, we can carry on. Whoops, I missed that. That was a terrible landing. Twice now. There we go. It's because it's on a slope, so I'm falling down the hill. I'm just going to leave the jetpack on and do it that way. It'll be easier. New autosave. Grinding down armor blocks. In a minute though, we might move on to some starbase. We'll definitely at least grind this down. Oh, because that 112th home's been built, all the people who are watching this on the live stream will get to see it like go really quickly. Like we've seen on some of the donations from some of the other groups when they've donated like 100,000 just themselves. Well, 10,000 just themselves that just suddenly blasted through. This is really cool to see though. Gonna grind this piece off first before it drops. And ta-da! Grind down the rest of the battery. The one issue with the battery thing though is that power cells. Welcome back everybody who is watching this in the YouTube. But one annoying thing about batteries is that power cells, when you grind them down, I believe no matter what, do not grind down into power cells again, but always scrap. Which, while annoying, is clever. Because originally people would, to get batteries and stuff, would just go out to the one time I'm going to reference them and it's not there, the unknown signals. Because they all had batteries on them. So people would grind down and take the power cells from the batteries. So that's why they're no longer there. Which, I believe that's the reason. Maybe there's another reason, but always make sure you grind down the lights first, because if you grind down the thing the light's connected to first, the light just despawns for some strange reason. Never exactly sure why they did that one. Why it doesn't just drop like other things, but it doesn't, so just be careful. Of course, the ship is no longer actually fully connected anymore. The landing gear are separated and all these things are actually in separate boxes now. So we'll dismantle the middle part first. Oh, forgot to pick up the gun from inside. I forgot to go into the seat and take everything out. That's my bad. Well, we took most of the stuff out. There's the timer block. There's that small cargo container. I put stuff in there too. I did a terrible job at making sure I cleared everything out first. I even left the battery in place. We don't need the gun because as of right now, it doesn't actually. We don't have, because like you have the option to spawn wolves, but there is no wolves. We didn't because that's not the base setting. So there's no wolves attacking us, and we're not playing multiplayer, so there's nobody else to attack us. And I have no mods on that I normally have for AI attacks. So, no. So we've got 4 on this one, 3 on this one, 3 on that one, and 3 on that one, which is actually really quite good. Whoops. How long is the battery's going to take? They're still at 3 hours, which is fair enough. Let's recharge our health and our energy while we're at it. There we go. Jumping energy. Who's going to win? I think it's going to be energy, but it's a close one. Ooh, maybe it's health. Ooh, it is health. It's hard to tell. That was a pretty close victory. Let's grind down the landing gear, and then we can finish up the rest of the metal grids that come from the... Well, the 1 metal grid each per ship item. So there we go. It's all falling down to the ground. Keep dismantling the ship. And there is our... our poles are back up. Just noticed that. And I realize I'm not talking because I'm thinking about this in the way I normally think about it, as a time-lapse, but I realize that I'm streaming still. So for everybody watching the stream, this must be incredibly boring for you. And I apologize, because that's my fault. Whoops. Should have just stuck with a certain way to do it, and I changed it, which caused one side to fall apart. But hey, I'll grind it down in the way that it originally was. But hey, we got some good viewership in today, which is nice. Grinding. Almost finished this time-lapse. For the YouTube crowd. Well, we're all YouTube crowd for the video crowd. And they get to see all these fun... Ooh, we've almost built another house. We've built almost 2 houses in the time it took me to grind this thing down. Which is insane to think about. Not actually built the... See, there's the unknown signal I was talking about. This won't be included in the... Actually, might be. I don't know. See what mood I'm in when I'm editing. You can tell which way the ship's the heaviest by how it falls when you grind it down. It's lost its balance, so the slants on the side are what's mainly controlling where it goes. After this one, it might slant a little bit back because... Nope. So, there we go. Grindy grind. Last 2 bits. And voila. There we go. Welcome back, YouTube people. And we built 2 houses since we started this. So, you know. And we spent almost, and for those on the stream, we spent almost an hour on this, which is actually pretty cool. So if we then go over here and dump all the resources in here, oh, we got a few more metal grades, which is perfect because we are going to need those. So what we're going to need to do next is we're going to go and build a it's going to grab the conveyor junction block because it has all the other tubes. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to say, we need interior plates first. Interior plate. Conveyor junction. Then what we're going to do is this direction is build out to here and stop. And then on this direction, what we're going to do is build up, then across. Nope, didn't mean to place that block there. That one. This one. This one. This one. This way. Then up. And yes. What we want is a connector, but we don't have that. So we go and check the progression again. And you can see that the connector requires at least one of these things to be built. So we're going to start by building this conveyor junction here. So as you can see, we have nothing in the build planner. Shift middle click, and then we press G. Oh, it's right click. Never mind. So we've got conveyor junction. Then 2. How many more? We can add a few more. Two more. There we go. You have to be quite close to do this. Is that it? Yep, that's it. So then shift middle click and production. Wow, we actually have quite a lot of the stuff already. Quite a lot of the resources to build the stuff as well. So, oh, no, we've run out. So if we middle click to see how many we have, we're missing some small steel tubes. They are being made though. Yes, they are. But we have most of the other stuff, so. There we go. We go in here. Do we have it? Nope, we have no more. So, back to the mines. And why is Insight? You get this mining with me. Lights. Voila. Oh, no, there we go. Flow around, down. There we go. Mining, mining, mining. I really like the different decorations that come up that you, in the globe, or snow globe, for building the Thankmas stuff. Like, because right now it's a gingerbread with a Christmas tree. There's like multiple in it. Looks cool. Yeah, no. So this is the biggest issue with these things, because you come in, then you go, dump more resources, and you just keep having to do this on repeat. Takes a while. Sorry about that, just checking in with my moderator. My one and only moderator. who, if he's there, should check the messages I just sent to him. Which is indeed about the live stream. Really, he's a moderator in training. Ooh, it's been another hour, which means we're coming up to the point where we would check to see what we're doing now. But as I believe there has been no change, we might stick with this. Or maybe we might go on and do something else. I have a few options. If we go back and check the poll. So currently we're doing number 2. We have a third option that I have, which is more space engineers, but back on the other world, which we might use. Or we might move on to do some Starbase, which I've been playing recently. Kind of, but basically in the Starbase we're doing the same thing here. It's just a little more traveling involved with trying to go to the mining, because it's all in space. Will you please, Mr. Moderator, answer my questions? My one question. Yay or nay? That is also part of the groups, one of the groups I would like to have shared it with. Because we're almost low on hydrogen now, so we are going to have to go and refuel that in a sec. But we'll do it after this last one, next one. Ooh, we're about to break through once again. Because we turned a couple of really sharp corners this time. Just because we happen to be hitting ground and stuff. Yep, there we go. So if we dump both that, and then we scroll down to our O2 generator, which is running low on fuel. There we go. We're also running low on energy. Yeah, while we're here, we may as well refuel that as well. Voila. Come on, down the tunnel. There's the hole in the tunnel roof to the next level. Then there's the hole to where we left off. In this direction. Quite a lot of mining that you need to do on these sometimes. And there's a good wee bit of delay between when it leaves here and gets all the way to the video. Which usually means when you get to the last few minutes of a live stream, really, even if you are still talking in chat, the person live streaming usually is gone by that point. It's not like I have extended latency or anything on, which some YouTubers do just for like if they have loads, they might slow down chat or whatever. Looks like we're going to be cutting across this part of the loop-de-loop too. Which is fine by me. Ooh, there we go. There's our poles back up and running. $20 for that pole. Plus the other 4. Well, wow. I just noticed that in the last 15 minutes plus, we have magically made it to 125,000 homes, which is just insane to think about. We're at 1.25 million. 125 million. Or 1.25 million, not 125 million. Completely different numbers. There we go. And haha, we've now unlocked connectors. So we put a connector down. One. Oh, I need steel plates for that one. So one steel plate there. And one steel plate there. And so, voila. As we build up this one. Right click. And then shift middle click. We then add one connector to the conveyor belt. Then we carry on building this one. And then this one. So let's see whether we can grab a few more resources. Out of small steel tubes, but And out of resources. So we'll see how far we get before we add more. Though I do know we need at least this one, but I can't remember which ones of those we've already done. So we'll add the one thing we know we need to add, and then we'll see how far we get along those tubes. Back to mining. Some of that will indeed be included in the episode. Be sure to see that coming out in approximately a month's time. Early January, probably, would be more accurate. So I can come and grab those first. Drop down the hole. Bloop. Oh, there's more down here. I have a lot of rocks just lying around that I can pick up. That will save me a lot of time. Oh wait, that's because I'm running around in circles. Great. Now I'm lost. So if we go plop down the hole, then we run round, round. There we go. We made it out. I just realized something. We forgot to remove this respawn point. So if we go I to GPS, and then we click delete, that allows you to remove that GPS point. So it'll no longer be there. Though, it's probably good to add one because, so we're going to stand just in front of the thing, go to GPS, click new from current position, which allows us, so we open the inventory with I, click the GPS tab, click new from current position so that it says where we are, and we're going to call this base number 1. So that points to where we are, and so that allows us to see it from far away just in case we travel anywhere, just so we don't get lost. Then if we travel back in deep into the mines, the very shallow mines of whatever the opposite of Moria is. So we're coming up this tunnel at this, oh wait, yes, no, there's all the resources back here, is it not? Nope, it's not this tunnel here. It's back this way. So we're going to carry on mining. So we're here and voila. We're gonna plop ourselves down this hole and run this way. Up, out. Then we go we're digging up, which is actually very counterproductive. We need to dig down. So we're going to change our tune and we're going to make sure that we face down while mining, rather than straight ahead, because we're digging up as of this moment, which isn't helpful, because we want to get deeper, not shallower. The shallow shores, there we go, that's a name. Well, I suppose most shores are shallow. I realized that I'm having reduced mining potential by holding all this stuff in my inventory. We're gonna crouch. Like we're on a couch. Don't crouch on couch, you know, you get your feet all over it and wrecks it. Very bad. Wearing mucky shoes, it's also not good because then you have to clean it all. So we're gonna mine down. It's becoming a very large labyrinth. Up we pop. Oh, no. Went too little too high, so we now injure ourselves. But there we go, that's more like the amount that we should be bringing in. There's another unknown signal, which once we build our rover, we'll go and start collecting, because that will give us good range. And we're here. At least we're digging down. Up we pop. And more stone for the mine. And back down into the mines of the shallow mines off. Yeah, can't think of my name. Give it time, one will come at me. I got like really bad ones like Shoria, which is Moria, but SH at the front, but that's just a terrible name. So we're not gonna use it. But hey. Come on, keep mining. We're breaking through back into the old original mine. I suppose that's how that goes when you keep going in circles. There's our hole that we have been going up recently. There's some more ores for the mine. And then, boink, we drop down. we come around the corner, but instead of going up this time, we're going straight again. We're very unlikely to cross again because I'm going to try and force us to keep going down, and this one goes up, but I'm sure we'll cross eventually. Because, well, sometimes I feel like we're going down. It's hard to tell when you're deep inside the cave without constantly turning around and looking. So there'll be times where you go back up. These really do like loop around because we're getting closer again. This is certainly going to be an interesting labyrinth that you could run and hide into later on, which will be really cool. We're about halfway through our planned stream today. Any person who's now arrived, if you feel like donating, you can donate at either the link pinned in the pinned comment, or you can donate with the link in the description. There's our pop-ups again. So North Pole's still winning. North Pole the clear favourite. Even I'm getting lost in this labyrinth. I'm the one that built it. Two and a half hours into the stream, which is an insane long time. Ooh, it stopped raining. Because for some strange reason, no matter how deep below the ground you go in here, you can always hear what the weather is outside. I'm pretty sure that's a cave sound. That is my best guess. But I can't quite this labyrinth thing that we're building. Kinda cool. Certainly a clever idea, and from a sound effects standpoint that's actually quite impressive. especially for a game that doesn't naturally have caves, so for it to be able to tell, that must have taken quite a lot of work. So at least we know now the direction that we're planning to go afterwards. In here there's a lot of cutting and connecting and following. And there we go. How are we doing from a production standpoint? Just a few more, a lot more to go. Let's group them all together. Makes more sense. And there we go. There's our interior plates. Whoops. You're first. Okay. Voila. Let's see what we have to build with. There's another one. Another one. I don't think we were supposed to be able to build these ones, but I suppose there was all the extra resources we already had. And then there's resources to build this. Not quite as many as we would have liked. But if we go in here and try to pull any more out... Nope. Nope. But we do have resources to carry on building this. So, yeah. Ain't that handy. Don't know why I did that again. You can remove your components from the build planner. As well, we do need another one. We need all the resources for another one, not just the partially built one I've already built. I was going to go up there, but I remembered we don't. We go here. Am I breaking into another part of the tunnel again? I am indeed. Now which part's this? Now I'm really confused. Oh, we've gone right round, so we're breaking in even sooner. Oh, that's useful. Clearly that loop there is actually quite a short loop. Clearly that's like our circular point where we keep meeting. There's another Serval K with the resources. Drop down, crouch again. Wow, so I guess we kind of know the general area where all the resources break through. Let's finish off this corner to make it more easily accessible. So we're coming down this tunnel this way. Take care. At least we know where we're entering now. Wow, we're at 129,000. Another 40,000 already added, which is just insane. Feel free to donate. There's different donations. Even $1 is 1 brick, so even if you only have $1 to donate, feel free to donate it. quite a full inventory. I realize that though. I've also realized something. I titled the stream Spaceships for Thankmas, but so far we've done very little spaceships. A few ground ships, but no spaceships. How are these going? It now says 10 hours, 5 hours. Ah, every time those start up, takes longer. Ah, I now get it. Welcome to Space Engineering. Space Engineering. There are some like really smart people who are actual space engineers. Well, and the first of Jacksepticeye's guests have arrived. And we're going to be digging a hole deep into the mountain. Dig, diggy dig. Yeah, got a lot of work done. Had a good wee bit of a chat. Talked about a bit. I think we should probably do the... Well, I'm thinking I should probably do the podcasting ideas that we had. This is starting to sound like we're wrapping it up, and we're coming up to that point, you know? We'll give it a few more minutes. All links and stuff will be accessible significantly longer than they are. Longer than they are right now. For the next, I don't know, there is a specific shut-off point. I can't quite remember what the date is though. But hey, if you're watching before that shut-off point, feel free to donate. You'll be able to tell when the shut-off date is. I can't. I know it's either this. I believe it's sometime. It's either the 14th or the 31st of December. Is the shut-off point for this. But it will stay open until then. Oh, low energy suit. But that's going to do us for our stream today. Thank you all for joining me. And have a wonderful time. Wonderful time. Enjoy. Bye-bye.